Entrepreneurs make terrible franchisees. An entrepreneur solves a problem. They build a business that solves a problem. With a franchise company, the problem has already been solved. We're looking for someone, or in any franchise, you're looking for someone that can run the system as a great operator. Hey everyone, welcome to Courtside Conversations. My name's Emile, founder and owner of Little Boomers Basketball, and it's a pleasure to be your host today. Wherever you're watching today's episode, I hope you're having a booming day, and yes, the pun is intended. My journey to entrepreneurship started on May 1st, 2018 when I launched my first basketball program with 9 kids enrolled. Today, thousands of kids across Australia are thriving in our programs, all thanks to the commitment and passion of our incredible franchisees. This podcast is here to give you real, straightforward, no BS insights into business, entrepreneurship, and what it's like to own a franchise. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. If I could go back and start my whole franchise company again, here are 5 brutal lessons that I wish somebody told me before I got into the great game of franchising. They would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of money, and probably a few grey hairs. You know, I'll never forget this event that happened in my life. In 2020, when I announced that I wanted to franchise my company, I was running Little Boomers for 2 years. I met up with the franchise company to get my company franchised, and you have to get a franchise agreement. And the owner, Marwin, was there, very nice guy. And I said to him, I want to franchise my business, Little Boomers Basketball. And he said to me, okay, well, why? And I gave him my reasons. I said, I want to become a national brand. I want people to have skin in the game. And he said, you know, Emile, that's good, except get ready because franchisees are very demanding and will give you a little bit of headaches if you don't do it the right way. And funny enough, with 16 franchisees currently in our network, the biggest lessons happened with my first 3 franchisees. Let's get into it. So here are 5 truths that I wish I knew before I franchised my company. Stick around for the last one because it's the most applicable one right now in 2025. Number 1, entrepreneurs make terrible franchisees. It sounds a bit counterintuitive, doesn't it? But when you think about it, an entrepreneur solves a problem. They build a business that solves a problem. Now, when I started my franchise company, when I'm looking for franchisees, I'm thinking, okay, who's creative? Who's an entrepreneur? That's not who we're looking for because with a franchise company, the problem has already been solved. The business has created a system and created a solution for a problem that's already solved. We don't want entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs can start their own business. We're looking for someone, or in any franchise, you're looking for someone that can run the system as a great operator. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. And entrepreneurs, what do? They reinvent the wheel. So entrepreneurs make terrible franchisees. Number 2, the best franchise brands are the ones that are most selective with who they bring in as a franchisee. I'll give you an example. The other day I was speaking to somebody called Tino. He's a lovely guy, interested in coming down as a franchise owner. And he said to me, man, Emile, I'm going to be honest with you, your standards are so high as a franchisee. You know, we have to do a call with Greg, we have to speak to franchisees, then we need to fly down for a 3-day live workshop at our expense, and then hopefully we get an offer. It's a very thorough process, and I'm quite intrigued because it shows you've got a high standard for your franchisees. Now, unfortunately, it was never like that, especially with our first couple of franchisees. As a franchisor, I'm going to be honest with you, when I franchised my company, I was so keen to get my first 3 franchisees. I was willing to probably lower the bar and to accept anyone that had the financial capability and was ready to trust me. And I'm being honest with you, there was just a feeling, well, okay, I've got to get my first franchisees. And what I noticed is if you don't have proper recruitment processes where you're filtering the wrong people and bringing in the right people, it ends up hurting the brand in the long run, especially when you bring in the wrong franchisee. So we've really knuckled down our franchise recruitment process. And boy, did I learn some good lessons with those first 3 franchisees. The other day I was speaking to a lady and she was telling me that she's run some hypothetical profit and loss numbers and she wanted to run them by me. So I said, okay, what do you have? I've calculated, Emile, the court hire fees to be about $200 an hour. And then I said, whoa, hold on. Your numbers are really off. And so I said, where did you get those numbers from? Oh, look, I assumed. Never assume. I've created a franchise profit calculator where you can input real numbers, court hire fees, coaches' wages, how many kids you have in the program, so you can find out what your potential profit is per class. Click the link below to use the calculator. I hope you find it useful. Number 3, it doesn't matter as a franchise company how much support we give to you if your mindset isn't right. I'll give you an example with marketing. A lot of people see marketing as an expense. If me, as a franchisor trying to support you to grow your business, that we're talking about investing in a marketing plan, say $500 a month, and you've got the preconceived belief that marketing is a waste of money, it doesn't work, then it doesn't matter how good my plan is, how good my support is, your mindset is limiting you. And what we've noticed is we can teach skills, but if your mindset isn't ready to learn, if you're not coachable, then it doesn't matter how much support we offer. So when we're looking at our recruitment process, we want to see if somebody's coachable, what mindset they have, because unfortunately, it takes a very long time to rewire someone's mindset, but it's quite easy to learn a couple of skills. Hard truth number 4, and this is for me personally, and I struggle with this, don't shy away from hard conversations when standards have dropped, because I owe it to my franchisees and to our network. In any franchise company, the number one asset is the brand. If one franchisee isn't performing well, isn't delivering to the customer's expectations, it is going to affect all the neighboring franchisees and the brand, which head office has to come in and raise that bar. So I owe it to all my franchisees to keep that bar high, because however way you're going to see it, it will affect the network. We live in a world of short-term gratification. We want things now, quickly, fastly, and with as minimal effort required from us. And that's quite dangerous. When people come into a franchise, there's this pill of short-term success. I'm buying into an established model. There's guaranteed revenue. They've already done a lot of the hard work for me. And while some of those things might be true to a certain degree, it's my job as a franchisor, and I've learned this the hard way, to realign people's expectations. Yes, the franchise can be profitable. Yes, you can potentially leave your 9-to-5 job and have this as your full time, but it is going to require a long-term plan. And what I'm constantly struggling with is fighting this short-term gratification where people are coming on the phone saying, hey, can I make my return on investment in 3 months, in 2 months, in 1 month? It's a constant struggle. That brings us to the end. That is the 5 truths that I wish I knew when I started my franchise company. If you like this video, drop a comment. If you found any of those truths interesting, let me know as well. I'll see you in the next video.